Hey, thanks for tuning in at Ping this week. We got a few questions all written in, so let's hit it. Hi, Ping. Best wishes to you during these interesting times. Indeed. Watching MXGP TV this weekend, and I see that the gates are only half full of riders, approximately 22 or so. Why is that? I got a second follow-up email from him, said recount 25 riders this week in MX2 and 30 riders or so in MX1. So not half full, but not full. Regards, Gatecrasher. So why is that? Look, I don't know. I'm not over there. I'm not super involved in that series, obviously. So I don't know the ins and outs of it. But I know that the way MXGP is run is kind of like they run MotoGP. And you have to be on a team to even enter the race. They don't have privateers who just, local guys who just show up and fill the gate. That's kind of what we rely on here to round out those last 10 or 15 spots or whatever it is. Just local guys or privateer guys trying to make it and kind of paying for everything on their own. They don't really have that over there. It's a different setup. So I think that's probably why anytime you have economic downturn or turmoil or anything like that, which we've certainly had with COVID over the last couple of years, you're going to see the number of participants drop in that model. And we haven't had that issue here because while a lot of industries have died and some people are struggling, the moto industry, for the most part, is cranking. So as weird as that is, it's not really hit our sport just yet. Although with gas hitting $7, $8 a gallon here now, it's probably gonna before too long. So that's my best guess. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm not super involved, but I do know they run it a little differently, the way they set it up. And I'm sure that has ups and downs, and that's probably one of the downsides. Thanks for the letter. I appreciate it. Next one doesn't have any name on it at all. It says, Ping, what's up with riding gear? Why are they so tight? They look like bicycle racers. And man, I don't know. When everything went to being a little more fitted, I thought, that's cool. It's not as flappy and baggy looking. I thought that was all right. I kind of liked that trend a little bit. And then, man, it just picked up speed. It was like it just kept getting tighter and tighter to where, it's looks like yoga gear or something for ladies. I think it started when compression gear became popular in athletics in general. And compression gear, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a real tight fitting top and bottom that provides a little bit of compression to your muscles, and they actually perform better when they have that little bit of tension on them. I don't know if it's because they don't have to hold their own tone, or I don't know. I don't really know why that it does work, but they've done a bunch of studies and it does help athletes perform a little better. So gear companies took that and ran. They said, all right, well, instead of making them wear that underneath their jersey, let's just build it into the jersey. And, that's great if you're a ripped, fit athlete, but you get to be, in your late 40s, and I work out, but man, I like pizza and tacos too. So sometimes I look like, I got a bunch of marshmallows stuffed in my jersey with me. I don't love the look on everybody. So I think we need to back off just a touch, my opinion, but I'm not in charge of that. So anyway, yeah, I don't know if Lululemon is going to come out with a motocross pant next, and dudes will start showing those, but it's gotten a little ridiculous where they're going to have to start blurring some of the podium shots. Dudes look like they're smuggling grapes in their pants down there, and it's not a good look. So we need to have a little correction there. Hopefully designers that are out there listening to this, just give us a little more room, just a little more room. Midsection and crotchal area, give us a little more space, please. Thank you. Please and thank you from the entire industry. All right, thank you. Whoever sent that in, thanks. I think we've all been kind of seeing these things get tighter and tighter and kind of wondering when it's gonna end. Hell, I can't get over guys wearing skinny jeans. These things are so ridiculously tight. The stuff we wore in the 90s, the big baggy crap, looks ridiculous. I get it, but we've overcorrected again. Can we find a medium, a middle of the road, please? Okay, my last question came in from, I think this is Nico Izzy, the Nico Izzy, but he spelled his name wrong, so I'm not sure. He spelled it IE at the end. Anyway, it says, hey man, Nico Izzy here, and would love to send in a question that I think could really go for a lot of other racing series as well. Should Supercross go toward the NASCAR style of point system or playoff system? I think it would help with a late season breakaway of maybe just 2 riders at the end of wrapping up a championship with rounds still to race. What do you think? New fan, Nico Izzy. Well, thanks. If it is the actual Nico Izzy, thanks for being a fan and sending in a letter here. I appreciate it, dude. Hope you're well. This one's a little tough for me, and I get it. Having a playoff system where maybe you take the top 5 guys or 6 guys and in points with a handful of rounds left to race, and those guys are the only ones eligible for the title. But those guys, all their points kind of compress and they're close. I get that as a fan, that's good. It's going to tighten up racing. It's going to make it more interesting. If somebody is breaking away big time, then it will tighten that back up. The problem is I'm old and kind of set in my ways, and I fear change like a lot of people. And so I feel like that, one of the hardest things about winning a championship is just keeping consistent through every round, avoiding disaster. And I know this firsthand. You can be doing everything right, and sometimes it just doesn't come together. You have issues here and there, and I think that guys need to be rewarded for that consistency. It's hard, man. It's so difficult. So this kind of gives people a pass and lets them, if they have a bad race or something, like on the one hand, if it's a DNF, a mechanical thing, it's not their fault. Well, then I think they should get, that's nice. Maybe we should have a throwaway race or something. But then I just think, man, these guys that week in, week out just perform, like Eli looks like he's doing this year, that's got to be rewarded. And if that means he wins the title a race sooner, then then so be it, man. He earned it. So I kind of I'm torn on this one, because as a fan with no vested interest, I think, yeah, man, do it. It'll tighten it up if we ever have a runaway season. But as a guy who used to race and can, put myself in those shoes, I think I don't really like that. But curious to see what people think of this. Leave your comments down below. I'm not totally against it, but I don't know if I'm fully on board. But I'm definitely open to listening and talking about it. So if you folks have some ideas or thoughts on it, leave them down below in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned. We do have a written column back. The first one's already in. I'm just waiting on graphics and whatever for them to get it put up. But that'll be coming up soon. If you like the written version better, it's definitely gonna be a different vibe than this, but we're still gonna stay here and answer questions and have a good back and forth. So shoot me video questions if you want, or send them in written. It's fine. And we'll see you guys next week.